Luffy and Zoro aren't just the strongest in the crew, but also the biggest comedians on board. There are so many funny moments between them that it's hard to pick the best ones. But in this video, I've selected 5 hilarious moments between Captain Luffy and his first mate, Zoro. Since the beginning of One Piece, one thing is certain: Zoro has a terrible sense of direction, and this becomes clear in one of the series' early episodes, when he wasn't even officially part of the Straw Hat crew yet. In episode 4, Zoro is talking to Luffy about his life as a pirate hunter. He explains that he doesn't hunt pirates because he likes it, but because his true mission is to find a man, the legendary swordsman Dracule Mihawk. However, as expected, Zoro ended up completely lost in the process. That's right, he went to sea in search of Mihawk and got lost in the middle of the ocean. What's funny is that Luffy asks if the swordsman got lost, and Zoro nearly flips the ship out of anger. Just imagine the situation. One of the greatest swordsmen in the world, a guy feared by many who could go toe-to-toe with any pirate, simply can't find his way home. And the most hilarious part is that since then, Zoro has never been able to return to his village. He became a true wanderer of the seas, hunting pirates not because he wanted to, but out of necessity since he couldn't navigate to save his life. And this raises a funny thought. Zoro alone on a boat, in the middle of the ocean, at the mercy of fate. Bro, that's dangerous. With his sense of direction, it's entirely possible that Zoro might have stumbled upon the One Piece itself and didn't even realize it. If you think about it, while everyone is frantically searching for the greatest treasure in the world, Zoro could very well have found it by accident, and, as always, ended up heading in another direction. What makes this scene even more iconic is the fact that Zoro is sharing all this with Luffy, who is the complete opposite of him in terms of planning and direction. While Luffy, though impulsive and a bit lost at times, has a clear purpose and direction, Zoro is just trying not to get lost at every turn.
I set out onto the open sea in search of just one man, but then I couldn't get back to my village. By that point, I had no choice but to go after pirate ships.
Oh, I see. So you're just lost.
Hey, don't put it like that!
Another funny moment is when the two meet again in the legendary land of Wano. A place known for its swords and the art of the samurai, it's clear that Luffy wasn't going to pass through without messing around with a katana, and that's where the chaos begins. While at Kozuki Sukiyaki's house, Luffy, as always, without thinking twice, grabbed none other than the legendary Nidai Kitetsu, one of the swords forged by the famous swordsmith Kotetsu, belonging to the group of the 21 Owazamono swords, considered extremely powerful and rare. Even though Luffy is a pirate who knows almost nothing about swords, he couldn't resist the temptation to wield one of these legendary weapons. When Zoro finally reunites with Luffy, he notices something that immediately catches his eye: an incredible sword in his captain's hands. With his swordsman's instinct, Zoro immediately senses that it's not just any sword. He's standing in front of a Mato, a blade of superior quality. Zoro's eyes light up, and as always, he cuts straight to the chase, asking Luffy to let him take a look at this fabulous sword. After all, as a swordsman constantly in search of the best blade, Zoro wouldn't miss the chance to test one of the most powerful swords in Wano. But, as expected, Luffy immediately refuses in his typical stubborn and naive way, telling Zoro that he won't let him hold the sword even if he begs. And the funniest part is that, even knowing Luffy has absolutely no knowledge of swords, Zoro is clearly frustrated, but at the same time resigned to his captain's decision.
Well, if it is what I think it is, it's a powerful one. You should probably let me hold on to it.
Oh. No way.
Among the many funny scenes in One Piece, one that stands out is when Trafalgar Law teases Zoro about his infamous ability to get lost. In this case, Law hit Zoro right in his most sensitive spot, and the result was guaranteed laughter for everyone nearby. During the reconstruction of Zoo Island, Zoro was doing an impeccable job, cutting the wood with perfect precision, showcasing his incredible swordsmanship. The wood was finely crafted, ideal for helping rebuild the devastated island. The problem? Well, even after doing everything perfectly, Zoro still managed to get lost from everyone as soon as he finished the job. This is where Trafalgar Law, who is usually very serious, just can't believe what he's seeing. He approaches Zoro and incredulously asks if the swordsman really managed to get lost on his own. That moment, with Law questioning Zoro about something everyone already knows, his terrible sense of direction, is absolutely hilarious. And the funniest part is that Zoro doesn't have a good explanation to give. He just accepts the situation with his usual expression, as if it's completely normal to get lost. Both Luffy and Carrot can't hold back their laughter, bursting out at the fact that Zoro, one of the world's most feared warriors, can still get lost in the simplest situations. Luffy, being who he is, doesn't miss the chance to laugh at Zoro, thoroughly enjoying Law's teasing.
You're lost.
Huh?
You wandered off on your own earlier. Remember? I knew you had trouble with directions, but this is just plain stupidity.
In Wano, during the Onigashima arc, chaos was inevitable, but nothing beats the level of disorientation from Zoro and Luffy. Their mission seemed simple: go up to the next floor of Onigashima to finally face Kaido, who was already in the middle of a fight with the Red Scabbards. But as we all know, when it comes to Zoro, things are never that easy. What was Luffy's mistake? He trusted Zoro to lead the way. Yes, Zoro, the guy who has gotten lost countless times on various islands, was chosen to guide the way to the battlefield. And of course, that couldn't end well. As expected, it didn't take long for them to get completely separated from each other. Nobody knew where the other was, and the confusion only grew as time passed. So, what was their solution? Well, to make up for the mistake and not waste more time, Luffy and Zoro decided that the best way to move forward was to simply smash through everything in their path, destroying whatever stood in front of them and advancing as best they could. After all, when everything goes wrong, brute force is the classic go-to method for this duo.
Well, we can cause a little more trouble, can't we?
Oh yeah.
This scene between Luffy and Zoro is one of the most hilarious moments, showcasing just how naturally comedic their dynamic is. It's the kind of scene that perfectly highlights the contrast between Luffy's naivete and Zoro's straightforward and slightly scary demeanor. It all starts when Luffy, either out of curiosity or pure distraction, gets his finger stuck in a bottle. Obviously, he can't get his finger out, and instead of looking for a reasonable solution, he decides to ask Zoro for help. This is where things get fun, because anyone who knows Zoro knows he's the type to solve everything with swords, and his first idea couldn't be any different. Zoro, always ready to help but in his own way, agrees to Luffy's request and immediately draws one of his swords, saying that he'll just cut off Luffy's finger to solve the problem. The funniest part is how he says it completely casually, as if cutting it off is the most obvious and normal solution for a situation like this. And here comes the final bit. After Luffy finally manages to free his finger, Zoro looks at him with the utmost calm and asks, "Huh? Why'd you take your finger out?"
See?
That was today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and comment on the video. Then subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you won't miss the next videos. Take care, and see you next time.